Hey, guys.
Hey.
Thanks for tuning in to another session of the Total Package. Your support and feedback has meant so much to us. You can find all the links to our social media platforms in our bios. So feel free to connect with us. Want to ask a question? Tag us in the question and we will answer it. All of us were brought together by the world of toy collecting through our significant others and our collectors ourselves. Today's topic is fur babies. I'm Casper, and this is my lovely co-host, Kat.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to the show.
So pull up a piece of lawn, grab some kibble, and join us for a fun evening. Everyone go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Well, I'll go first. I'm Ems, also known as Amber. I have like so many different social media handles, so I'll explain those later. How about you above me?
Hi, I'm Grims. I'm here just have a good time, ready to talk about some pets. How about you, Anna?
Hey guys, so I'm here ready to chill out with the ladies, have a little fun, look at some really cool animals, make me smile, make me cringe a little bit with the snakes, but hey, I'm looking forward to it though.
I'll have to tell my snake story later.
I have a good snake story for later. I'm Patty. Oops, sorry.
All right.
And then Miss Chan.
Hey, hi, I'm Chan. Just Chan. Just Chan. I've had a crazy 2 days, and I'm excited to be here to chillax with you guys and I don't know, check out all the fuzzy people.
The fuzzy people.
Hey, I talk to mine like they're people. They're my people. Like they hang out with me. They're my right hand friends.
Yeah, no, they're my family members. So yeah, I totally understand that.
They're my kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They don't bring germs home from school, so they have one up on the other kind. The other kind of kids.
Yeah.
Super good. Mm-hmm.
Yep, I've got a cold right now because of my little two-legged friend.
Sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Good God.
That's why if I'm a little out of it, a little off key, I apologize because
that's okay. You got that NyQuil in you. You're right in the right groove.
Yeah,
you're in that groove.
You're flying the night train.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
I took a big slug before the show, but what can you do? I need to breathe.
So welcome everyone to How Good Are Your Meds?
Well,
Evidently not good enough.
Not so much.
At least not tonight.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Over-the-counter stuff. Here we go.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's start with our first question. How did your fur babies get into your life, ladies? Tell us about your pets. Chan, let's start
first.
with you.
You want to start with me?
Yeah.
Oh. These my guys are on screen right now. I have 2 Bostons and Boxer lab mix. Maisie and Otto were originally JD's buddies, and they're almost 9 years old. They'll be 9 years old in May. But you wouldn't know it. Both of them are just full of energy and just would lick any piece of skin you have peeking out from under any clothes, like knees, ankles, toes, your face, your fingers, your wrists, your neck. Like if you give them even a fraction of a second, they're just going to cover you in slobber.
I think Maisie was the one that was licking my toes when I was over your house.
Yeah, she'll do that. And you got to watch her if she's on your lap because she'll try to stick her tongue in your mouth. She likes to lick teeth.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
Otto just wants all the attention. He'll push her out of the way to be the forefront on your lap or anyone's lap or attention. He's the jumper. He's usually the one that's trying to paw at your belly or the top of your thighs or whatever he can reach. He's more timid than her though. Like she'll go outside and run. She is a daredevil. She's not afraid of anything. And the biggest way to tell them apart, because some people are like, well, which one's which? Otto's always wearing the tuxedo. Maisie's got the polka dot dress. Like that's the easiest way. And Chewy's new. Chewy was a rescue from last Memorial Day. The Sunday before Memorial Day, I went and picked her up. There was a lady who had an advertisement through a like lab finder page on Facebook that she was looking to get rid of her, and I was in very brief communication with her, and she made it sound to me that if somebody didn't come and get her, she was going to take her someplace unpleasant come the next day.
And Chewy's so cute and so lovable.
She's amazing. It's really crazy because I never thought that I would find a dog with that kind of a personality. Like she's super sweet. She's very gentle. She's beautiful. She's got like the marbling. She almost looks like she has stripes in her fur. It's crazy. She almost looks like she has like tiger striping. It's crazy. Like her fur pattern is beautiful, and she's very graceful. But she's still a puppy, so like you let her go outside and she is digging dirt. Like there is no grass in our backyard anymore. It's gone. Like she's just
Oh my god.
she's just everywhere. That's actually from Memorial Day last year. That was right after we got her. You can see by her back haunches. She was very malnourished. She was also kennel kept, so she doesn't like to be confined anywhere, even if it's just like in a room for an hour so you can clean the floor. She's not somebody who's satisfied with being backed into a corner either. She doesn't get mean, she just gets timid and wants to get out of it. And she was kept on a very short leash outside, so when we first got her, she had like some throat damage and her bark sounded really funny. So she was a little bit abused, but she doesn't have any like negative signs from it. She's just very timid sometimes, but she's super great, and she's full of energy, and she wants to jump up and hug everybody.
Aww.
Unless you're certain male people for some reason. She has a very bad habit of humping certain male people. I don't know what the deal with that is,
That's
but
really great.
it's very peculiar situation. I don't understand what happens, and we first experienced it with Grimm's husband, actually.
Yeah,
when he came to visit.
to Chan's house. They have some really cute dog, except it just keeps humping me.
Yeah. And it's just really strange too, because she wants to hug. Like she wants you to come down to the floor and hug her. She'll put her paws on on your shoulders and she'll hug. But he would stand there and she'd just put her paws up higher and like stretch her body out and then just start going at it. It's just really funny. I don't know. She's the only one that does it too. Like I've never seen the other dogs do it. Otto's only real bad habit when it pertains to that stuff is he likes to put his genitalia in the other dogs' faces. Like that's really, his biggest thing. And the farts between the three of them are just, I mean, it's
awful.
It's terrible.
Boston has the worst farts.
That's not good.
Ooh.
But anyway, I mean, that's about as short as I can make it. There's so much more to all three of them, of course, as you all know, because you have lovely fur friends too. So, yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. Ams, you want to go next?
Yeah, I can go next. And forgive me, I don't quite remember exactly when we got these dogs, but I know Appa. He's the big white one. Here you go.
He's so
Right
cute.
before I took that picture. He's a white Akita, and he's about 12. So we got him about 12 years ago when he was a puppy. I think we went out to some rural, distant part of Maryland, picked him up there, and I think I remember. Like I went with my dad, and they're like in this little pen in the middle of a field. And we got to pick him out, and he was like the only docile, cute one that came up to us. And I remember him; he was just this little loaf of bread. Had him in my lap on the car home, and ever since he's a sweetie. He's actually kind of a wuss, so he'll actually like freak out at the at the silliest things. He actually has anxiety too, which is kind of
Mm.
concerning. You know, if anyone leaves the house for an extended period of time, he'll kind of like, you know, walk around and be super anxious. And when people get home, he like flips out and he just like, you know, runs back and forth and goes, "Oh my God, you're home. Don't ever leave again." So that's Appa. And then I have the other one. Her name is Hildy. She is a Norwegian elk hound. Look at her. She's so cute.
Aw.
She is. It's so funny.
Curveball
So
legs.
this, yeah. We call her a fluffy sausage because that's basically what she is. She, I think, is 7, and we got her in West Virginia. Okay, I remember now. It was snowy, and these dogs love the snow. She was, I think, she was part of a litter of 3, and they're really small dogs. They're like corgi size, maybe a little bigger. And she was just cute. Again, a little loaf of bread. And I got to carry her home too.
I
It was
like the
so
way you
cute.
put that, by the way.
Yeah, because they are. They have like the cute little droopy ears, and they're just like, you know, curled up on each other, and you just want to like snuggle them for all, you know, the entire day and night, and never stop. So you know, I have that. Those are like my fondest memories of them. So look
That's
at
Otto,
you.
isn't it?
I told him he
So
was going to be
cute.
on the show, but I didn't mean literally, so he came over and took me very literally. But yes,
So cute.
this is Otto.
Hi, Otto.
Hi, Otto.
Oh,
So
buddy.
cute.
They like you.
He's
You're so handsome.
cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could go on and on about my dogs and go further into detail, but that's the beginning of it. At least that's how I met them. They were bought and taken in. So, how about you, Grims?
Well, mine all came different ways to me. All of them rescues in different ways. The first one I'm going to start with is my black cat, Ozaba. She is a fat piece of crap, likes to lay around, do nothing all day long. Yeah, she's just
Boom, crash.
she just is.
Aw.
She's a people person, oddly enough. She was a rescue. My boyfriend at the time, who's now my ex-boyfriend, he wanted a black cat, and I wasn't into cats or anything of that nature, but she's the one that kind of changed my perception. He specifically had told me that he picked her because she ignored him in the SPCA, bleh. And he wanted just a cat that was kind of like, oh, well, I'll live my life, you live your life, we'll just be that way. So that's how it was. So I kind of ended up absorbing her in because my other one, which is Wobbles, she is another little rescue. Ozaba got a little attached to Wobbles, so when we broke up and I moved, I just absorbed the cat with me. But Wobbles, she's adorable. I don't know what she is because she was also another rescue. Her story was a little bit more interesting. I'll take her off the screen real quick. But she is, best guess, is a Dachshund Rat Terrier mix.
Yeah,
She's
that's
got a little stubby tail. She's annoying. Probably the 2 worst style of dogs, Dachshund and Rat Terrier. Horrible for potty training. It's just horrible. But how she came into be is I wanted a cat of my own because Ozaba had convinced me that cats were cool. And we went to the ASPCA and there was a litter of cats there, and we went to the line to wait and see about adopting them because they were in the holding section, not the adopting section. But the line was taking too long, so we went in to go see puppies, and we're walking around, and my ex-boyfriend had pointed out, look at this one, and went back, and Wobbles had walked up, pulled one little paw up and a little paw up, and a little face like this. I wish I took a picture because it was destined. If I could say if there was ever a moment that I'm going to get emotional, that I fell in love, it was that moment because I loved that dog from that moment. And I had to.
Aww,
That's kind of nowhere. But I had to foster her because she was so young. Anyway, I need to get off my dog. I'm obsessed with my dog. Like,
No, that's a good thing.
that's not a bad thing. Come on.
But she's just been everything to me. So she's like my child. Anywho,
Yeah.
the last one is Harvey.
What is that Loki's going?
I like to take like good photos and bad photos of my pets. Like, this one is one of those bad ones because she's just like in my face all the time. So Harvey is a tabby kitty. I found her outside our apartment with Gort, and I was coming home late from work one day, and she was jumping out of the dumpster. I ran inside and I said, "There's a cat outside. I'll be right back." And I took some wet cat food, and I spent 2 hours trying to trap her. The only way that I could trap her was because it was going to my car, which happened to be in the parking lot. I put the food in. She jumped into the car. I slammed the door on her. She went crazy inside the car, left her there for like 5 minutes, and then took her, and she was ours ever since. But yeah.
Aww.
But just real quick, Azaba's name, just random. Wobbles, because she ran funny. Like when she was a puppy, she just ran really funny, and I couldn't think of anything else. And Harvey is because her face is half paralyzed. Not sure why. It was that from when we found her, because when she was like a little kitten, and kind of after Harvey Two-Face. So it kind of just
cool.
That's awesome.
But yeah.
That's awesome.
Totally cool. Oh,
I'm so sorry. Anna, sorry. You want to go about your babies? I'm so sorry.
Sure.
I just saw some face licking going on.
I did too.
Well, first is Hershey, and he is named Hershey Kiss is his full name. It's actually Hershey Kiss Winter. He was my mother's cat. She adopted him when he was a kitten. He was 8 weeks old when she adopted him from the shelter. And then he lived with us until she could get the money together to have pets in her apartment. And then when he went to go live with her after a year of being with us, we were attached. But a couple years later, she passed away. We inherited Hershey back, and he's been ours ever since. Actually, I should say mine ever since, because he can't leave my lap alone. If I'm sitting on the couch, he's on my lap. If I'm eating, he's in my plate. He's in my face as soon as I get up in the morning. Feed me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he is my love. My other kitty is Spice. Her full name is Allspice Dubois, and she is my survivor. If you notice, one of her eyes looks really, really small. She was found at 18 months old after being hit by a car. Her head was split in half, and it was like split down the middle.
Hey guys,
That eye is that eyeball is still there, but it's extremely minimized. And one day she might have to have it removed. But she's been with us since Hershey went to go live with my mother. So we got her. We adopted her because nobody wanted her because she was damaged. She was quote unquote damaged. I was like, I don't care about damage. She's adorable.
Yeah.
And she was super skinny. She had lost so much weight after she had just gotten out of the vet. She was really skinny. We brought her home, started feeding her, and didn't realize that because she was what used to be a feral cat, we couldn't just leave dry food sitting out.
Oh, no.
So she would eat and eat and eat. Yeah. So now she is extremely overweight.
Oh.
I can't leave Hershey loves having dry food out. I can't leave dry food out because she will eat everything until she gets sick, and then she will throw it all up, and then we have to clean it up, and then she's hungry again. So
Vicious cycle.
trying to keep.
Yep. That's that's very common with ferals. You know, I had a feral cat. He's since passed on, but he would freak if he could see the bottom of his bowl. And if you were eating pork chops or chicken or whatever, there was bones on your plate, he would jump up, grab the bone, and try to drag it off like a lion with a gazelle.
Cats are assholes like that.
It's awesome. They are. They battle because she doesn't really care for hard food much. She likes canned food better, and he actually prefers crunchy food. But when they eat breakfast in the morning, they get canned food in the morning, and she will push him out of the way to eat his food. She'll still have food in her dish, and she'll push him out of the way. I have to stand there and guard his food. I had to move him into the living room this morning because she just would not leave him alone. And I'm like, I've got to make my lunch. She was like, no, I want to eat his food. No, you stay over here. You stay over here. I felt like a referee. But when it comes to crunchies in the evening, when they get their crunchies in the evening, he goes after her food. And I'm like, no, this is not fair in the morning. It's not fair in the evening. Stick with your bowl.
My mom had a cat and a dog, and the cat would eat the dog food and the dog would eat the cat food.
Ours have a little bit of a food issue too. just because Chewy was malnourished, so she's always hungry.
Mhm.
She'll sit in front of their food tub and just stare at it longingly sometimes.
Oh,
Yeah. And I have to watch all three of them. Well, we have to watch all three of them when we do feed them all because they've both, like, between Otto and Chewy, they've pushed Maisie out of the way and eaten her food at different points in time.
No.
So
They're bullies. They're bullies.
yeah, him, like, Otto and Chewy have kind of like become best buds. They're always teaming up to do whatever craziness goes down in the house. You know? Normally, if it's like, what is going on? It's normally Chewy and Otto doing something silly. And they kiss. They kiss each other. They make out. It's
Aw.
gross. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, she's got a bad habit of nibbling on tiny little things. Like if you have a snap on your sleeve or something and the little nib, it's like unsnapped. If the little nib is out, she'll try to like nibble at it. She also wants to chew on nails.
Oh,
Like she'll just
no
nibble.
thanks.
She'll just like, you know, like with just the like little tips of her teeth. But Otto has like a protruding mole on his neck.
No.
That a lot of people think is a tick, and she's nibbled at it and made it bleed. We have to keep an eye on. They're super gross together. Like it's like, ew, guys, come on. Like, Otto's like
They're
short and
perfect.
stubby, and she's like tall and lanky. I'm like, what is going on here? Anyway, sorry.
Casper, why don't you tell us
That's
about yours?
hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have Kylo and Abby. Kylo is in Kylo Ren from Star Wars.
Oh,
And there
so
he's in my
love
spice
those
rack. He
eyes.
wasn't allowed to be there, but he had to.
Oh.
He wanted to do some baking.
Yeah. I don't think he'd be very good at it. He's not very patient.
You know.
He'd be a good
So as you can see from the size of the spices, this is a very large cat. He's a good 15, 18 pounds, and he's lanky, tall and lanky, so he's not like overweight. But he is extremely mischievous. He lives for chasing Abby's tail. Literally chasing Abby's tail. He thinks she was put on this earth to actually like be a toy.
Didn't you show me a picture of him in a bag?
Oh yeah, there's a great picture of him in a bag.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty amazing.
He likes to get in every bag or every box. And then we actually got him the cat across the street had a litter of 7 kittens, and I'll go into that in a few minutes. But he was the last one that was left on the porch. The lady had gotten rid of all of them. She owned the cats, but she didn't get them neutered. She didn't get them spayed. She didn't get them any type of injections or anything.
Oh,
Did not take them to the vet. And I think 2 or 3 of them passed away from the first litter, which really, because they were born in September, and it got really, really cold really quickly that year. So Kylo is 3, and Abby's actually his mom. She was the one that was sitting on the couch.
Aw.
That's cute.
She's so cute. And when we first found her, she had the first set of kittens, and she had 2 other sets of kittens, 7 kittens each in a year. So she had 21 kittens in a year.
Oh, poor baby.
And
Wow.
they still weren't going to get her fixed or anything like that. And we kept saying to the lady, just please give her to us and let me get her fixed. No, my son really wants her. Well, she ended up with fleas really, really bad. So she gets into the neighbor's house and gave them fleas. And then all of a sudden she was our cat. And so that night we decided that we were going to take her to the vet, scheduled her to get fixed, got her fleas taken care of, got her shots, and she's been with us ever since, and she's attached to my hip all the time.
That's
But
super sweet.
they're sweet. They were on the they were the second set of cats, but we had Saber previously. You'll hear about Saber later. There's a reason I'm saying about him. He was the best kitty in the whole wide world. He crossed the Rainbow Bridge right after we got Kylo.
No.
And he would literally open doors. He could open doors. He broke into 5 food dishes, and we would lay in bed at night, and he would reach up and grab the page and try to turn it for us.
Aww.
Oh.
He was so cool. And I love Abby and Kylo just the same, but he was a special one.
Oh,
There's always those ones that catch your heart and keep it, forever.
He was a ginger. He looked like Morris the cat.
Oh, I love orange kitties.
Me too. Yeah.
The one that I was telling you guys about, the feral that I in that would drag food away, that he was an orange kitty.
Yeah.
He was the best.
So, Kat, what about yours?
I actually have several. I have a dog, a cat, and 3 reptiles currently. I have Boris the Boston.
Yes.
Boris.
Oh, look at that little face.
And he loves to fart and he loves to give kisses. He's a good boy.
Farts and kisses. That sounds like a Boston.
Yep. He came to me. He was an injured stray. Well, not stray. He was owned, but he got hurt and the people couldn't, fix him, take care of him. So basically, long story very short, I ended up with him, came to me missing an ear.
Why?
Or half an ear. The dog that they already had attacked him. They brought him home as a puppy, this little tiny puppy. And their adult dog attacked him. First time they kind of stopped it. Second time they stopped it. Third time the dog managed to grab him by the ear and throw him across the room. So he lost half his ear. And he had, thankfully, very minimal damage otherwise. But the people were like, we can't take him home. Our dog's going to kill him. We can't afford to fix him because we spent all our money to buy him. The breeder won't take him back because he has half an ear missing. So me being a total sucker, decided, okay, I'll take him in. And that's how I ended up with him. And he's a sweetheart. I mean, he's an absolute love. He curls up with me at night and he's like a little hot water bottle. It has to be on the bed. He can't jump on the bed. It's not that high. It's a high bed, but like he jumps down off of it. Fine. Bought him stairs. He won't use them. He will claw at the bed. Okay, if he manages to catch you with his claws, he will until you pick him up on the bed, and then he has to be under the covers and he has to be curled up against you.
That sounds just like a Boston.
Oh yeah. And then I have a 17-year-old cat named Loki. She lives in alternate dimension most of the time. She is like this. She's very skittish. And right now she's an only cat, which she's loving. I've had her since she was 2 years old. Her owner actually died, and his family, his next of kin, didn't want her. And so I get a phone call. Hey, we know your husband's really interested in black cats. We're driving down the Pennsylvania Turnpike because at that point we were living there, and he could hear me on the phone. And he just yelled, "We'll take her."
Aww.
And so we took her in, and she's a love. She has no teeth. And she's real skittish, but she's a sweet little cat. And she's taken to cross-country moves, taking in cats from a relative that passed away. We adopted her cats in. She tolerated all of it, but so she's getting to enjoy her geriatric years as a solo cat, though. So she gets all the food, all the love. And then we have the reptile collection.
Yay.
Yeah, we have
the menagerie.
We have Sid. That's actually more my husband's ball python, but I actually really enjoy him too.
I'm trying to see his face.
I know he's got a great personality, but everybody needs to know I have a severe fear of snakes.
Which is why I'm not wearing him around my neck. I actually was tempted, but I figured I wouldn't do that to you.
Thank you.
He does have beautiful coloring.
He's very beautiful. Yeah. He can stay in a picture.
And then
my sister had one too.
Yeah, they're really cool. Actually, they're fun little snakes. They really are. And then we have a bearded dragon. That's actually more my son's, but you know how it is with kids and pets. You actually, mom takes care of it.
Oh,
And her name's Zelda. She's actually a heck of a lot of fun.
super cool.
And she's posing.
She is.
She's completely posing in that
coming
picture.
I heard their poos are very potent.
Not bad, actually.
Really?
Not. Really
Oh,
not.
okay. I heard they were really bad.
No, not at all. Well, it depends what you feed her. But yeah, hers are not bad at all, actually. Now, I will say my son is on poo collecting duty. He's on poo cleanup duty always. But you can't smell it, you know, when he's cleaning it up. I don't smell anything. And then I have a little leopard gecko who's actually mine. Her name's Nara, after my fandom. That I'm
They're
in
like the cutest ones ever.
Love. Oh, so love.
Adorable. Their smiles. I do.
Yeah,
love
she's so much fun. I actually just got her like a whole new setup. It's like 4 times the size of what she had. It's all decked out with stuff. Yeah, she's a lot of fun. But that's what I have currently.
Awesome.
But I've had a lot of pets over the years.
Oh yeah. No, same.
Yeah.
A lot.
But you particularly have quite a love for animals, don't you, Kat?
I do. I absolutely do. It's. Hold on one sec.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
The
do love
non-fur
animals.
baby. The non-fur baby.
I
Yeah,
have my non-fur
baby. I could tell by the expression.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Fine.
No, it's actually what I do. You know, it's what I love. I work in the field. I absolutely love it. And, you know, 15 years working with animals, it's, you know, it's kind of my thing. And I absolutely adore it. And I wouldn't do anything else.
That's fantastic.
So, Kat,
Awesome.
I have to tell you that Nida Wren in the chat asked, does she spit fire? And I'm curious, does she spit fire?
No, but she tail whips if she's mad.
Oh, shit.
No kidding.
Oh, wow.
Actually,
That's a
not
dragon
bad.
for you.
I had a iguana once whip me with their tail. That hurt a lot worse.
I bet.
Oh, wow.
I bet.
Get those spines on their tails. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
They're built like tanks. They're herbivores, but they're built like damn dinosaurs. And she whacked me with her tail, and I had a mark on my side for like 3 days.
Oh, gracious. I didn't realize they could hit to that
They really
so
can.
hard.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it is like a whip, so I guess it would, huh? I mean,
Yeah.
almost, you know, just like
Well, I would
like the wet towel game. You
Pretty
know.
much.
I mean, is the iguana tail built like an alligator tail or a crocodile tail? Because those ones, they can hurt you really bad with their tails too.
Kind of similar, very muscular, little spines on them. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Ooh. You see Josh's comment yet?
Yeah. I just saw
He used
that.
to have an iguana that was 5 feet long. Oh my gosh.
He got tail lashed once, and it actually opened his skin.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That must have been nasty. Ooh.
And I see
Oh.
Dave's asking if Nick counts as a pet.
He shed. You got to feed him with a 6-foot pole. Okay, and he hibernates. Nice.
He does shed, not as much since he lost his hair.
Aw.
And I do have to feed him. But
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
but he's a used to pet. He's one.
I hear that.
So just before we move on to our next question, I just want to throw in some of other photos that we happened real quick. We'll kind of describe them a bit. We have Loretta, who hasn't been here with us tonight. She has a bunny named Albus. It looks like a little black bunny.
Oh,
I'm assuming after Mr. Albus himself from Harry Potter. If not, then I apologize. Then she also happens to have a little gray with a white fury. I'm assuming that's how it said.
Oh,
Like
look at the little
beautiful
white on the
green
nose.
eyes. Yes.
beautiful
very,
eyes.
very
Oh, my.
Oh my
Adorable
pretty.
kitten. And then we have a few fan submissions as well First one is Mocha
Oh.
from Bots in Disguise. So she is a 12-year-old chocolate lab. She's also attached to her papa very much, and she loves to go hiking and swimming.
Aw.
She's
Oh,
so
It's
cute.
like
so
sand all
adorable.
over her face too.
I know, I've got it all over.
Yep.
Aw.
Our next one is Kit the cat. Looks like a little black cat. I love the food on the chin.
That is
Yes.
great.
This has to
That's
get the
saving
face
for
in
later.
there. Exactly. It's from Anthony. Is it Neil? I do apologize. It's a little small on my screen. And then we have some from JD's mom, Natalie. We got little Twinkie. Chan, I don't know if you want to describe them.
Twinkie is, I think, like a Jack Russell Terrier mix. I'm not. She might be full bred Jack Russell. I'm not 100% sure.
No.
But she has like the little butt that looks like a corgi. Like her little hiney looks like the corgi hiney. It's cute as hell. She's hilarious. And then it's Cooper the cat. Yeah, I'm not. Oh,
Looks like a Maine Coon possibly or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. It look really, really
Yeah.
furry from it.
Yes.
Kind of like a tabby style Maine
I
Coon.
believe he is. And then Nala and Callie. And then the little puppy at the bottom is Layla, is Miss Natalie's one friend. It's his dog, but she takes care of it a lot. And all of these kitties and puppies are adorable. And Miss Natalie is a huge animal lover. She loves all animals. They're people just like the rest of us.
We have just one more, which is Chris and Twyla.
Yeah, that's JD's brother and his girlfriend. It's their puppies, not their. They have a couple of cats too, but I didn't have pictures of them. But this is Kylo and Miss Maggie, and Kilo. I'm sorry, it's Kilo. Kilo is a Chihuahua mix, I think.
I was gonna say that's got to have a Chihuahua, and it looks like a Chihuahua and a Rat Terrier.
I get the name. That's really great.
Kilo, yeah, it's pretty funny.
Looks like it only weighs about a kilo.
Yeah, that might be why. I'm not exactly 100% sure why. And then Miss Maggie is I think Bichon, I think.
Possibly, yeah.
I don't remember 100%, but they're really fun dogs. And Kilo, I guess, is like Chris's best buddy. He hangs out with JD's brother all the time. They're good friends.
Oh, wow.
Oh, what's that?
For those with multiple four-legged friends, particularly dogs, do you find that they are jealous of each other?
Yes.
And that's by Bot and these guys.
I can definitely attest to that. Specifically, Wobbles, my Dachshund Rat Terrier. She hates Harvey with a passion because if it was Ozaba first, so Ozaba was a full-grown cat, so Wobbles was the puppy, so Ozaba was able to give dominance to Wobbles. But however, Harvey was a kitten when Wobbles was full grown. So Wobbles got dominance over the cat and attention. Well, I'm surprised. Harvey's on my lap right now. I'm surprised Wobbles isn't flipping out yet. But she just hates it when there's any kind of attention, love. If the cat's too close, away all the time. Hates it.
Well, now that you mentioned it, they might start.
The rare time in my life I only have one dog. Usually we've always had at least two. And anytime I was giving one attention, the other one would have to come over and pop the other hand up and give me love too. Like the cats, not so much, but the dogs, oh my God, they would always like, I used to have had this one dog named Stookie. She was a brown, a chocolate lab mix. She was the sweetest dog. She loved our son. She slept with him every single night. And when we had another dog named Micah at the same time, like they're both big dogs. One would be getting attention, try to climb up on your lap. The other one would do the same thing. So all of a sudden you had over 100 pounds of dog in your lap.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's something that happens here because, well, I don't think Chewy's 100 pounds by any means. I mean, we first got her, she was like 50 pounds. So I'm going to guess she might be like 75 now. But like, they're all, yes, there's a lot of jealousy going on. And Chewy will try to get in the lap of whoever she feels is giving somebody else more attention. She'll try to squeeze in between everyone, but I think Otto taught her that because he has a very bad jealous streak. Like if JD and I are holding hands, like he'll try to lick our hands and try to get in between us. Like there's just a lot that goes on with Otto. Otto has some issues. But they're all manageable. I think a lot of it is like emotional issues. Like he's the baby, he needs all the attention, kind of a thing.
Yeah, Rush just reminded me that our cat Spice is territorial over our bed. She's the one who sleeps with us in the bed. Hershey can't come near the bed. He cannot come up on the bed. He can come next to it, cannot come up on the bed. But if I'm sitting on the couch and Hershey isn't on my lap yet, and Spice comes over to get on my lap, Hershey will sit there and glare at her and then jump up and try to get on my lap with her. And she'll end up moving because he knows she'll move.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just sorry. I was just trying to figure out stuff. I think my internet's kind of going in and out. I've been told I sound faint, so I'm gonna try to get this out. My dogs. Here's the thing with Hildy. She'll like sit away from you, like just far enough away from you to the point where you can't really reach her, and then she'll start whining that you're not paying attention to her and you're not petting her. And I'm just like, I can't help you. You're not even that close. And then you try and do your own thing, and then you'll hear her just like faintly bark.
Oh my god!
And then
so cute.
if you're petting her, Appa, the bigger dog, he'll come by and literally like nose himself in between your arm and her and go, "Hi, I'm here."
Unacceptable that it's not on me. It's unacceptable.
Quick question: do any of your dogs make like odd noises whenever they're not getting your attention? Because Chewy does that.
Oh yeah.
Mine's trying to do it right now because she wants food.
Odd little gurgles and gurgles and like little whiny sounds. Oh yeah.
I think that's one of the reasons why we named her Chewy, was because of those sounds that she would make. Like she sounds like a Wookiee.
Yep. That's right. Yeah, Boris will make fun little sounds. He never barks.
Who is that Chewy?
No, nobody's here.
That's Wobbles.
That was Wobbles.
I'm leaving for a second because she was doing it. I'll just mute myself now.
Okay, Bot Ninja Guy actually said, okay, to be honest, who has a doggy stroller?
No.
Nope.
No.
Those bitches can walk.
I have a doggy backpack, like a specific one. I got it recently for when I went to New York, and in New York you can't have them. I know. And in New York you can't have dogs on like the trains or the subways loose, so I have to keep her in there, and she's just whining and whining and whining. I mean, a stroller would probably have been easier, but it's tempting. I'm very tempted by getting one because it's hard on my back.
I use them all the time, and I laugh my ass off. It's like, come on, they have legs. They have fur. You don't need to put a coat on them. Well, I live in Florida. It doesn't get cold here at all. I mean, our winter is maybe 50 degrees for a few days. That's it. Yeah. And I have people they'll bring their animals in coats.
Oh my.
They're wearing fur coats already.
They have them up here. Like when we get a lot of snow and it's really cold and stuff. I have where my mom used to live was this elderly apartment building. This one lady had a Yorkie poo, and it's only about this big.
They're tiny, yeah.
And she doesn't have much in the way of fur, so they actually put. It looks like a toddler walking across the ground on all fours because it really does look like a toddler. It's got a little beanie hat and everything, and it's wobbling across it, and. Like the first time I saw it, I'm like, why is your kid walking across that on all fours? Like, she had this little snowsuit on it. It's so cute.
Now, I will say some dogs with real short fur in really cold weather, I'm talking snow on the ground, can benefit from a blanket or a jacket of some sort. But most of the time, they're fine. It's like, oh my God.
So how many of us have clothes for our pets?
Nope.
Nope.
I did for my dog.
I have
alive.
I have bins full. I tell you, I am obsessed with my dog. Like I am straight up obsessed.
I almost bought Otto a jean jacket the other day.
She's got holiday costumes, she's
Oh,
got sweaters, she's got special collars that are different styles. I have one that's like rainbow for Pride Month. I have one that's a sushi. Like I'm telling you, I spend too much money on my dog. Like she's my
Nothing wrong
kid.
with that. Honestly, for fun, I say go for it. But I laugh when I'm down here where it's warm all the time. People putting their dogs in like sweaters and coats, thinking they're cold. It's like no.
Otto has an Ewok
wow.
sweater. Otto has an Ewok.
Oh,
Cute.
Literally.
I saw a guy.
Right next
I
to
saw
me.
a guy today.
I'm with
I saw
you.
a guy today
Oh my
with a
gosh,
sweater.
that's
That's
too
a little.
darn cute.
It's a little bear sweater with a little ears.
Oh,
And then the same sweater you're talking about. Here's the Ewok outfit.
That's the same one Otto has.
I tell you, I had it just readily available next to me.
Mine are in a drawer in the laundry room.
Oh, jeez.
What were you saying, Anna? What did you say?
I saw a guy today walking. It was raining today, and I saw a guy today walking a dog who actually had a raincoat on. I was like, "Oh my gosh, that is the cutest thing I've ever seen!" This little dog wearing a raincoat with the hat and everything. I was like, "Where's its umbrella? It needs a little
Paddington.
umbrella too, and little galoshes."
I want to get one
Yeah.
for Otto. And I even threatened to get him little rain boots too because he hates getting his feet wet. Like the girls will barrel out the back door and go play in the mud. Otto will like creep down the stairs and not want to get his feet in the puddles and like pee and then run back in. Like he does not like he doesn't like bad weather. He doesn't want to get dirty. Like he's not, but he will go lay in the grass in the sun. Like that's a big deal for him. But yeah. Anyway.
Boris is the same way. Hates getting in weather. He's outside pee back in
Mhm.
fast as can be.
Well,
And
the
the
same way.
raincoat's clever. Save you that wet dog smell in your house. That's a good idea.
Toby hates getting wet too. She hates like active rain, so she'll just go out and do her business and be back in. But if it's sunny outside, she'll stay out there for as long as she can, bark at anything all the time. I'll have to like bring her back in and go, no, stop. I should have thought about that before getting, an elk hound. Hound being the key term,
Yep.
Right.
They sing.
Oh, absolutely. She's
Yeah.
cute,
And Chewy loves the rain, and she has like that lab smell. You know what I mean? Like that dirty dog smell. Like she just stinks like a dog and has trash breath all the time. Like that's just her. But we love her anyway.
Speaking of smelling, did you guys' dogs ever smell like Fritos when they start getting
Their
dirty?
feet. Their
Yes,
feet.
the feet. There's the Fritos. When Wobbles is stinky, we just like it's Fritos.
Yep.
Fritos.
JD told me that. Yeah.
Oh,
He was like, smell Macy's feet. They smell like Fritos. I'm like, no, they don't. He's like, yeah, they do. And they do.
Yeah,
They're so jealous.
It's actually because of if the yeast starts to overgrow on their paws, it makes them smell like corn chips.
Yeah.
Yep.
It cracks me up so much.
Since we're on this topic, is there a reason why short-haired dogs smell more than long-haired dogs?
Only because their hair's shorter, so the oils basically don't have as far to travel. So, a long-haired dog, the oil next to their skin, I mean, they still smell the same, but you have to part the hair to get down to the skin where the smell is. Short-haired dog, you really don't have to go too far.
I don't know. Chewy smells a lot worse than the Bostons. Like she like if we're talking about farts, Maisie takes the cake, she kills the house, she blows people out of the room. But like when it comes down to just the smelly animals, Chewy is a dirty, smelly dog.
Oh my gosh.
That I have to be glad that I don't have to worry about because the cats don't smell themselves. The litter box, on the other hand, yes, but you keep up with that, and that's not too bad.
Right.
That's true. That's
My gosh.
I really do not like the wet dog smell. I love dogs. But I can love them and give them back and say, "Here's your wet dog."
Doesn't bother me.
We used to have a dog. It was a Cocker Spaniel Poodle mix, and she loved the water. Every chance she got into water and more water. And we called her the abominable snow puppy because we get blizzards up here, and it'd be 3 feet of snow, and she'd go hopping through because she was just this tiny dog. and you'd see her just doing this like almost like whale thing where she come down. At one point when we had to she had to go to the bathroom, and she wouldn't, if her pisser was touching the snow, she didn't like it. So I had to, shovel a path for her to pee and poo in. And then she literally would run back the path, pee, poop, and right into the snowbank.
Oh, jeez.
And she had those long floppy ears. So she'd go into the snowbank and it'd go,
No.
and then she had these huge snowballs for ears.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute. I had this cat named Tasha, and she was this beautiful, like kind of medium-haired calico, but she was an indoor cat. She hated being outside. We at one point we lived in a split level, so the deck was like second story. So it had snowed, and I'm like, I want to see what she'll do. So I opened the slider, and I put her on the deck in the snow. Like it was only like an inch. You have never seen a cat teleport inside so fast. She turned, I swear to God, she like levitated, spun, and got inside because there was not another set of footprints, just the ones where I put her down. Somehow she got turned around in the air. It was the funniest thing ever.
In my experience, is cats don't really like water, whether it's frozen or active. Mine
love ice cubes.
They really
They
don't.
will bat them around.
Talking about the snow made me think of that story, and I still laugh to this day. And she's been gone for years, and I was in my early 20s, so this was longer than I will admit to at this point.
Okay.
You're only
Fair
like what, 25, right?
Yeah.
You're only like 25, right?
Oh yeah.
We're all only 20 something.
Exactly.
Oh, I wish.
Yeah. That was quite a while ago.
I know.
Yeah, I'm not going to admit to that one. It's okay. I was talking to my aunt, and I told her how many years I'd be out of college this year, and she was like, "When did you get so old?" I was like,
Thanks.
Hey,
Oh.
I like the way my boss puts it. He says you're 21 plus shipping and handling.
I like that. I like that. That's awesome.
That works.
See, my dad got to 49 and stopped counting.
My dad started counting backwards at
He
49.
did that too. For a little bit.
Oh,
Yeah,
jeez.
I just need to count that backwards.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this is a good one. What is the most embarrassing story about one of your pets?
Oh,
Any pet in
jeez.
your life? And I'm gonna. Can I hijack and just go first because I have an
Do it.
awesome one.
Yeah, do it.
Do it.
So y'all know I have a ball python named Sid. Well, we had a ball python a few years ago when my son was about 2.5-ish years old. That again, I'm a sucker. Took him in because he needed a home.
Mm-hmm.
And he wasn't the healthiest snake in the world, so he was pretty docile. And I was working nights at the time. And so hubby's at home with the son. I come home from work, and I get do you know what your son did? What did he do? What?
Uh-oh.
Apparently, hubby was sound asleep, and little one gets up, wakes up, toddles into the living room, and the snake cage was kind of low on the ground. He was like on a little riser on the ground. Opened up the snake cage, which got a lock after this story occurred. Picked up the ball python, carried it into Daddy's bedroom, and dropped it on his face.
Oh no. Casper's like, no, that would be a dead child. Or at least severely bruised child.
Down, I would have been accused of child abuse.
Apparently, though,
Oh
there
my
was some screaming
gosh.
involved, not from my son.
And I can completely agree with that.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think it's child abuse if they're terrorizing you. That's not child abuse.
See, this
I
is
love
why
that.
I never had kids.
And
Uh-huh.
I'm saving that story for his
I'm not ready.
graduations or his first girlfriend,
Yes.
wedding, whatever. I'm
Yes.
saving it, 'cause that's going to be the pull out,
Yeah.
embarrass him story.
Yeah.
I can hear
Most definitely.
Brammer at the father's speech at the wedding reception.
Yep.
I can hear Brammer
Yep.
telling that story with a microphone. Yep. That'll be good.
I had when I was young, I had a goose that was, the story is how I got him was we hatched eggs in science class and we got to keep whatever hatched. This egg was not supposed to hatch. Well, it hatched. And so I had this goose that they weren't sure if he was going to live or not. So I took him home. Well, he grew up and he was extremely protective. He was like a guard dog. My dad came over to pick me up. My parents were split up. Came over to pick me up. The goose didn't recognize the car. The goose goes running out of the house, chased my dad back into the car because my dad is petrified of geese, and kept pecking at the door. And my dad was sitting there, rolled down the window, and he goes, "Get this fucking bird away from me." I was like, oh my God. But that goose walked on a leash. I had a small cat collar that he wore, and he walked on a leash. I took him to the vet, and every time I took him to the vet to get checkups, I always got these people sitting in the waiting room going, "What the hell is that?" Goose on a leash. But he couldn't fly. He couldn't fly, but he loved to soar. I would take him, my friends and I would climb up on the roof of my house. I had a 1-story house, and we would chuck him off. And he would glide down, and then he would do this albatross tumble onto the ground and come running back over, honking and wanting to get back up and be chucked off again. But yeah, he slept in the bed with me. I had a cat, a dog, and a goose that slept with me for years.
Wow.
So yeah,
regular farm right there.
yeah.
What type of
That was just my baby. He was my little baby. So yeah.
That is absolutely awesome.
So I have a really embarrassing one. And I was told last week that from everybody, I have to tell this one.
Okay.
Yeah. So my husband and I were newlyweds, and we had went and picked up this cat. His name was Saber. Yes, lightsaber. So this cat wouldn't be out of the room with us. Like, he had to be in the same room touching us at all times. And we were newlyweds. So one night we were very amorous, and the cat's at the bottom of the bed riding the waves. And I'm like, this is embarrassing. He's literally got his paw on my foot, and he's watching me.
He's having a show, just a good show.
Yeah, no.
I don't know how I feel about that. Oh man,
Actually,
awkward.
I have one more, if you guys don't mind. Oh my God.
No.
So my orange cat that was the feral, his name was actually Morris. The hubby named him. It was supposed to be his cat. We lived in this really tiny, it was called efficiency with a loft. So in other words, it was basically an apartment about the size of a single wide trailer with a loft bedroom. Very small. So I brought him in, we rescued him. He was skin and bones. And I put him in my dog kennel because I already had a dog and a cat and a boyfriend in this really small apartment. And so I left him in there for a few days because I wanted to make sure he was going to acclimate. And one day I go to open the door to take out his food dish and swap it out. And he bolts out past me, runs around the apartment, meows at me. And he's like, "I'm fine." Okay, whatever. And so I go take a shower, which was like at the one end of the apartment. And then I go up the loft to get dressed because, that's where the bedroom was. And he's at the base of the stairs. This is like the first night we had him out. He looks at me, and I swear to God, he went meow meow and ran right up the stairs to me.
Oh my.
That cat never left me alone for the rest of any day for the rest of his life.
Oh.
Attached to me the rest of his life.
Oh no.
But it sounded like a wolf whistle coming from a cat.
Like woo woo baby.
And he ran right up the stairs to me. It was the fun. I couldn't stop laughing. It was the weirdest thing. Sorry, I remember that. And, oh my God.
I can't think of any that are funnier than others for me. Like there's too many, like, JD and I are in bed together and there are very little clothes on and Chewy's peeking over the edge of the bed, just eyeballs and the bridge of her nose. and I see her and I'm like, I don't know if I can do this in front of her. She's only a year old. Like in my mind, these are things that I'm thinking, and then there are
just
moments
cheering you on for moral support. Like,
yeah,
don't you
right,
understand?
sure. The other one is, like if when we start kissing, if we're in bed, Maisie gets up and runs out. She's
like, I know where this is leading.
She leaves the room, like she's just out. She's gone.
Nope.
Okay, great.
It's interrupting my sleep. I can't. I can't
do this. Yeah.
And Otto will like, I get out of the shower. Our bathroom is right in our bedroom. Not in the bedroom, but the door is in the bedroom. And I'll walk in and get out of the shower and go to get dressed, and I'll take my towel off, and Otto just stares at me with no clothes on. And I'm like,
he's like, "Where's your fur?"
Yeah,
pretty much.
And you
like,
don't
buddy,
have to rub it in somebody else's face.
And I'm like, buddy, what are you staring at? And his eyes just get bigger, and he just stares at me even harder, like the whole time I'm getting dressed. And this is every time he's in the bedroom, like he just stares at me when I'm changing for bed, when I'm like, anytime my clothes are being taken off and being put back on, he's just staring at me, and it's very, very uncomfortable.
You're magical. You can take off your fur.
No, it's more like, what are you doing?
Yeah, right.
Is that part of you?
I don't know. That leads into another question.
Actually, I have one thing real quick, a really funny story.
Okay.
So I'm from California and moved my life cross country to New Jersey. Mm-hmm. And so at the time I only had Ozaba, the black cat, and Wobbles in there. And we happened to be in a stretch of road where it really wasn't like a good place to stop, because we had one of those, I can't think of, U-Hauls, and then my car attached to the back so we could move all my stuff. I could tell that Wobbles needed to go to the bathroom, and she's making whiny noises inside the cabin with us. I was like, we need to pull over. I was like, we can't. We're not in a spot where we can pull this over because it'd be too hard to get back on and stuff. And so straight up holding her, shits in my hand. Because there's nowhere else to go. Like, it's happening, it's coming out. Like, there's no stopping it. And it's like, you just do it. So I'm sitting there in the car with shit in my hand, and we're just we still have to drive because there's not a rest stop anymore. It just sucks. And then it's like, then we get to a gas station and there's no, like, you have to go in and get a key and stuff like that. I was like, just to get this like done. It's like you're trying to wipe as much as you can beforehand, so you're like, can I use the bathroom? But it's it's one of the most unfortunate probably things when it comes to
oh no.
Oh, no.
I don't know if I could do that. Like you're much more, you just got more like pet mama than I do. I don't know if I could let the dog.
You just gotta take the shit with it.
I know.
Take the shit with the good, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would have done that. Oh.
No.
Have you ever been woken up by your pet's snores, and did you have to wake them up because they were so loud? Yes. My 2 cats, they will snore so loud, and they're just cats. But oh my gosh, they snore so bad.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Oh my god.
Maisie snores. Maisie snores really loud. Maisie snores like a human. She sounds she sounds like your grandma snoring. Everybody knows her grandma snores. I don't care what anybody says, but like she sounds like your grandma snoring. That's exactly what it sounds like.
Oh
yeah.
Spice snores, but it's a cute little. I'm like, what the hell is that? You just hear, like, she'll be sitting up on the back of the couch and it'll be something quiet on TV and you'll hear. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, I look, there she is. I'm like, goodness gracious, girl, stop. But she doesn't snore. She only does that when she's on the back of the couch. When she's in bed, she doesn't really snore. So I don't know what it is.
Well,
maybe it's just positioning. I don't know.
Yeah.
Possibly.
The dogs don't snore, but they do make cute little noises in their sleep. So sometimes they'll bark and like growl in their sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I think Hildy was doing it the other day, so I hear her like breathing heavily, and I'm like, is she okay? I'm looking over, and she's all like, I'm like, oh my gosh, she's dreaming. It's so cute.
Chewy does that too. That's awesome.
Love it.
Mhm.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
Ren says Hunter and Duke sound like chainsaws when they snore.
Oh gosh.
I can only
Lord.
imagine.
That's perfect. That's amazing.
Do
Do
Sleep
you
apnea machines for pets? Gee, I wonder.
do your pets sleep under the covers with you guys?
No,
My
If
cat
it's
used
cold.
to.
on top of the covers. My last cat did, but not this one. Not this one.
The Bostons do. Chewy sleeps on top of them. I think her fur would kind of like, she'd probably die from heat exhaustion if she tried to sleep under covers. But the Bostons, especially Maisie, has super thin hair, so she gets cold real easy. But like if they get under heavy blankets, they'll start breathing in their sleep like they're gonna pass out and die. Like you have
Oh wow.
and they won't move. You have to like scoop them out from under the blankets and put them on top. I've woken up to that more often than the snoring though, because I get like it freaks me out. I'm like, oh no, are they okay? Get them out of there.
Don't die. Oh no.
Yeah, mine only get underneath the covers if it's cold. If it's cold in the bedroom, she'll come up and she'll lay her head down on the pillow and she'll scoot up underneath of the covers, but she has to have her head on the pillow. She's like a freaking human that way. I have to have your pillow and your covers, and I'm gonna go, I'm like, you are nuts. So, yeah, she's spoiled rotten.
And Mercer had the pets. They would sleep in front of the vents. So especially in wintertime when the hot air comes out, yeah, they would just like park themselves there and really just cozy up there.
Aw.
Oh wow, that's so cute.
One of my friends just said that she just lost her. She had a boxer, and the boxer just passed away.
Aw.
Oh.
She was 14 years old.
Wow.
Oh wow.
That's a long life.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Yeah.
Daisy Loy passed away.
That sucks.
Oh.
I got info today that a friend of mine her dog isn't gonna make it through the month.
Oh no.
I don't like hearing about that stuff. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not good at that.
I've
Yeah,
had to
it's
deal with that in my life.
Unfortunate part of life.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got one doozy of a story if y'all want to hear it.
Sure.
I like doozies.
Yeah. So I was 9 at the time. We just moved into our house. It was in 2001. So and our front door used to have like a round doorknob on it. I still to this day don't understand how this happened, because in order to exit, you have to, rotate the doorknob and pull it to go out.
Mm-hmm.
So we had 2 Akitas at the time, Hiro and Kimmy.
Oh.
And yeah, my parents love big dogs, so there's a theme. They somehow got out of the front door and walked down the steps. Like, I was out there waiting on my bus because, my mom had to go to work, so did my dad. So I was, there alone, but just waiting for my bus to come by. And they just come out, and I'm just like, what do I do? My dogs are outside. What the heck? I need to get back in. And then my neighbor tries to come over from across the street and, help us out. But the most unfortunate thing happens. See, Hiro had mental problems, but we didn't know at the time.
No.
He starts attacking my neighbor.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
So they go down. Thankfully, her husband was there. He was a firefighter at the time. He was able to actually muscle Hiro off of her. They ran down the street. She had to go to the hospital. I'm freaking out because 9 years old, trying to deal with that. Go back inside and call my mom first, then call 911, and then yeah. I'm sorry. I'm trying to.
It's okay. That's all right.
They had to be put down, obviously. So
Both of them.
Sorry.
Wow.
both of them, yeah.
Sorry.
That's
Even
kind
though-
of common with like animal attack scenarios. That's the bad part.
Yeah. So even though Kimmy didn't have the mental issues, she was still part of that.
Mm-hmm.
Whole
Right.
attack, and I just remember them being scared in the kennel, and it was a sad day. Like,
I'm so sorry.
I remember
Yeah.
seeing my dad cry. So
Yeah. That's always the sad part. I think that's why as an adult, I never actually wanted pets, because we had a zoo in our tiny house growing up, you know, my sisters, myself, my mom and dad, like we had all kinds of animals. Like I said, my sister had a snake and we had a rabbit and we had the dogs and the cats and we had 2 birds and a tank full of fish. And like we raised mice for the snake, and there was a lot of animals in our small house, and I had guinea pigs. And when my guinea pig passed, I couldn't get over the heartbreak of it as a young person. And then, you know, like as I got older, other animals had to pass, you know, because that's just the nature of things. And it was just really hard for me to handle. So as an adult person, I never made the option to have pets of any kind until I met JD. And so Maisie, Otto, and Chewy are the first pets I've ever had. Well, that's not true. I had a fish, and I don't like talking about him because it makes me cry really bad, because Cletus was my best friend after my accident, and my physical therapy got all my friends at physical therapy and my physical therapist bought him for me for my 1-year anniversary in therapy. And he just died.
Aww.
He just died this fall. He was a beta fish, and he was like my best buddy. And he actually watched TV with me. Nobody believes me, but he did. He would like, I would talk to him and he would swim to the tank and like blow bubbles at me. And like, he really was my best friend. And he passed away this fall. So that's why I don't like having pets.
Sorry.
These guys are my whole world as far as that stuff goes. And I'm grateful to have them, but all those previous losses made me not want to have pets as an adult person. So I'm like, I'm not going to butter it up here. I'm going to throw it out there. I'm nearly 42 years old, and this is like the first time in my life I've actually had animals in my everyday life. And it's a true, true blessing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely is. Absolutely.
They're good for your health.
Oh, yeah.
I can't imagine not having a pet. I don't think I've ever not had a pet. You know,
It's
except
weird.
No.
Except for when I was in college.
I've always had something.
Yeah, when I was in college, you know, my childhood dog was still back home, but you know, that's the only time I ever lived somewhere for like full time that I didn't have a pet, because I couldn't have one. First thing I did when I moved to for post grad work was I got a cat.
Nice.
A dog. And then a boyfriend, which almost counts as another pet.
Yeah. Like, yeah, they do. Of course they do.
It's weird not having them though. You know, like I realized how empty my life was for like 20 some years. And now it's amazing to deal with them, even though they drive you crazy and sometimes you wake up to pee in the morning. But like,
Okay. I have a quick question for all the ladies.
Yeah.
Which would you prefer? Another person as a mate or a friend or something like that, or a pet? Which would be better for your, if you had one to choose from for the rest of your life?
Pet.
Hands down.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I love my husband.
I love my husband. I'd have to choose him.
No, I'm just always been very, very attached to pet and stuff like that. When you were talking about the other ones, like my dachshund growing up, Roxy, she when she had to be put down, it was because she stayed with my mom when I was growing up, because she, you know, they were the ones who got her and all that type of stuff. But then my mom started rescuing dachshunds, like ones that were being overly bred and stuff like that, because the dachshund boom had came out and they were just being horribly abused for breeding purposes. But one of the other ones, because of that, they were very tense and very like dominant or things of that nature that happens, because that's just a female breed type thing. And one of them ended up attacking my dog Roxy, and she got infected, and so she had to be put down because of it. And it happened to be on, so I can't ever watch it, the first Harry Potter Deathly Hallows Part 1. And so when I think about like when Hedwig dies, when Harry sorry, spoilers. That was too late for spoilers. But you know, that attachment that you get and how much they are, that's why it's just like, I mean, I love my husband to death and I will be upset and things of that nature, but the dog, I don't know why it hits me more. It just always has hit me more. And I think that's why I would always choose
a pet.
I didn't know that was the question. Wait a minute. Okay, wait.
I love my husband, but
Yeah, I love my husband to death too, but you know what? He's an ornery little shit sometimes. I'd rather take a cat.
See, they can talk back with actual words, and they can cut deep.
Exactly.
My cats can talk back.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, don't say that, David. Peace out, Gort, he says in there.
Oh. I don't think I can make that decision. I don't think I can make that decision. I can't.
What if you could make JD a dog?
No. No, because like that's the bad part. I enjoy all the little quirkiness that I get with all of it, like with JD and like our conversations and even our mild arguments, because we don't really fight much. We're more like really close, like we're best friends, so it's really hard to make that call. And then the buddies, and no, I can't make that decision. There's no way. Nope. I'd rather take myself out of the picture than have to deal with that. And that sounds bad, but like that's just how I feel.
I just know.
Just leave the dog and JD.
All I know is, God forbid, if I'm ever without Nick, if I ever lose him, I won't remarry. I don't think I would date again. I'll just be the old lady with a bunch of cats and dogs. I don't.
Yes, crazy cat lady.
Oh, there's always that scenario. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't want another person. I found my person. I don't want to. I would never want another person.
Right.
But I always have room in my heart for more pets.
Well, yeah, I almost got another dog.
We can't get a Petco for that exact reason. Max would probably adopt a cat right away if we went there. He's like, no, I don't want to see them. They have such sad faces. Like, no, I will buy one. Stop.
That's where we got Saber
happen?
from. We got Saber from PetSmart, and he had so many issues. They said he wouldn't live past 2, and because he had a really bad heart murmur, and then he got a little bit better, and then he was 12 years old, and he ended up with pancreatitis and diabetes. And
wow,
he was
long life though.
Oh gosh, yeah. And then we were in California, and he took a real bad turn for the worse. And then we thought we were going to have to put him down when we were out there, and he lived for 2 years after that.
Aww.
And when I knew when it was time that he couldn't even like stay still to lay on the ground, I was like, okay, it's time.
Yeah.
And it was like having to put my child down, because I don't have children. This is the only child I've ever had. I'd come home from work, and up on my shoulder he would go. And Saber was like the type of cat, he would tell me when it was time for his food dish. But people that know us know we don't have kids, and we were upstairs with some new friends. They were checking out our collection, and they hear this, "Mama, Mama!"
Aww.
Like, we know you don't have a kid. Where's that coming from? And he comes walking into the room, "Mama!"
Aww.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've heard cats do that. Yeah.
And
That's adorable.
I looked at him and I said, "Sweetheart, it's not 4:30 yet." And the guy looks at his watch and says, "No, it's 5:30. I look at him. "Okay, go down and sit by your food bowl." And he goes boop, 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 boop down the stairs and sits by his food bowl and waits for me to get there with the food.
Aww.
They understand English. They know it.
They
I
do.
know mine do.
Oh,
They
yeah.
know English.
Oh, yeah.
They try to pawn it off like they don't know, but they know.
But they know.
Oh, they know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of amazing now. I've seen dogs that actually learned how to smile too.
Mhm.
God, that's such a human trait. It's so spectacular.
Well,
Honestly.
Saber
most
was also one
definitely.
of those really intelligent cats where we had an old house, and so he'd stand up on his hind legs and he'd get a hold of the doorknob and go like this and open the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
My cat Harvey, she knows a doorknob is the way to open a door. They don't have handles, so she can't get to it, but she knows it. She'll jump in when she wants to get in a room. She'll jump at it to try to open it. But she knows the handle is the way to get in. She
Kylo
figured it
can
out.
get in the cupboards himself. He'll stand up and grab a hold of the edge of the cupboard and walk backwards.
Nice.
Oh wow,
Wow.
that is talent.
My cat growing up would lick my face before, like 30 seconds before my alarm clock would go off every morning when I was in high school.
They know.
Oh.
They
She drove me nuts, but like she was super smart. She knew what she was doing. She knew, get up, kid. That's what I could hear it. Like, come on, kid, get up. And then I'd feel the sandpaper on my face. I'm like, come on, stop. And then she'd just come back over and do it again. I'm like, get off.
Oh.
I don't want to get up. And she'd come back over and lick my face until I got out of bed. I'm like, fine, I'm out.
Oh, this is a good question. What dream
have-
pets do you have and why?
I have realistic and fantastic ones. So here
Hit
we
it.
Okay.
go.
Absolutely.
Realistic ones. Well, I know my husband, he would love a big cat. So tiger, lion, puma, maybe even lynx or bobcat.
Kind
One
of
of
like
those giant
a
cats.
puma.
hmm It was super giant cats to cuddle with. Or I love llamas and alpacas. I
Oh,
think they're adorable.
Aw.
I know they can be kind of a pain to work with, but I would love one. Just to touch that super soft fur and be able to like hug it around the neck. That'd be super cute. Fantastical ones. I love dragons, so having a dragon would be the best thing ever. And other than that, I think a unicorn as well. So, pretty fantastical. I can brush your mane, be girly and whatnot. That'd be me.
I'm right there with you. Exactly.
exactly.
Well, except for the realistic ones.
Oh,
I think
okay.
if I could, I think I'd have a sweet potato.
Potato?
What is a sweet potato?
Fantasy.
It's a seal. Yeah, I
It's
love.
humanity.
I love how they smoosh their faces in, and then
Yeah.
their neck disappears, so you just see their face.
So cute.
They're so adorable.
I would love a red panda. They're like my little spirit animal. I love them.
Oh, and they're so high strung.
I know, but
So high strung.
there's something about them I absolutely love. I did a research project in college where I had to go to the zoo every day. So I got to walk around the zoo every day for free, which was awesome.
Oh darn.
Yeah, I know. Oh, darn.
Sweet.
Only problem is it was Buffalo and it was winter. That was
Oh darn. At least there's less people. You're not tripping
That's
over
true.
like somebody's kids running at your knees.
oh, it was awesome. I absolutely loved it. And I would walk around and I always ended up going to the red panda enclosure and hanging out. And I swear to God, this little guy like recognized me after a while. And it would just like, when I get there, he'd stop and we'd look at each other for a while. There's something about him I just absolutely adore.
Oh,
They're
It's just
adorable. Very adorable. Like half lemur, half
For an actual pet, I would love to have a husky. I think they're
They're
gorgeous.
wonderful dogs.
They're hilarious.
How about a
Oh,
miniature husky? Have
oh,
you seen those? Those are so cute.
Oh my gosh.
They're
Looks
like
like
smaller
they
They
size.
are. Oh my gosh.
I
See, that would be more the
Oh.
size that wouldn't intimidate the cats too much. But I don't know. The cats have been such assholes lately. Maybe they need a little intimidation.
What about the big?
There's
But-
a lot of energy there, Anna. Are you sure you're ready for
Oh,
that?
Yeah,
and the
exactly.
shedding.
Oh God, yes.
Oh,
I
and the hair,
need the
yeah.
energy.
How about a corgi husky
Oh, I have-
mix? The small version of a husky.
Oh my god.
This will be
love
legs.
those.
That's
Oh
like
my God.
that's like cuteness cubed.
I
Yeah.
love it, like
Yeah,
with
it is.
corgis, you just like mix them with any breed and they become corgified.
Yeah, corgified. This will be legs.
It's that little booty. It just goes shake, shake,
Yep.
shake.
Cut off at the knees.
Yep.
I love it.
Oh my God. For a fantasy pet, I would love to have a Celtic dragon.
Ooh, there you
The
go.
like Game of Thrones, big ass, beautiful,
Oh, there you
mean dragon. I would love it. I would cuddle with that sucker.
The trouble will be where to put it because they're so ginormous and fire's a thing.
Yep.
It's on the roof of your house. It's all right.
Yeah.
Let's scare all the freaks away. Like all the weirdos won't even come over. Well, except unless they're good weirdos. You want the good ones that aren't afraid of the dragon. But all like the salesmen and all the dumbasses won't even come around if you have a dragon on your roof.
Yes.
Well, they would, but then you wouldn't have to feed the dragon for another week or so.
Yeah,
That's
what if they're trying to
exactly-
rescue a princess? Like that's just what it is.
Yep. Yep.
Hmm.
Little did they know that she's in league with the dragon.
Or is she just in another castle?
Ah.
That's true too.
Go with the Mario route. There you go.
Yeah.
This is another
I'm
castle.
sorry, Mario. This isn't the princess you're looking for. She's in another castle.
Tell me that didn't piss everybody off when they first played that game, by the way.
What other castles do I have to go to? God.
You know what? I really didn't
Exactly.
like the Koopas. I didn't like them. I didn't like having to deal with them.
They didn't bother me so much.
Nope.
Well, I didn't like the fact that you'd squish them and then they jump up and get all fast again.
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah. I don't know. Oh, man, like I want a Bernese Mountain Dog really bad. And I know they're super furry and I know there's always hair everywhere and I get it, but they're huge and they're fluffy and I don't care about the hair. If I did, I wouldn't have all these guys to begin with. I have a shop vac. That's what it's for. Hardwood floors and a shop vac, baby. That's
There you go.
That's how you get it. But it, like something, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I think I just want Chewbacca to live at my house.
Love him and stroke him and call him George.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
That's my wingman right there. Like, hang out, you know? We'll just be
Hell
buds.
yeah.
We would
No,
high
I want
five and
Mortimer. I want Mortimer from the Bugs Bunny.
nice. Yeah, I mean that.
Oh,
too.
wow. Yep.
Oh my god, I love it.
How about you, Grims?
I'm not sure. Like you mentioned Star Wars. I can't think of his name. Oh, God.
Which
Jabba the
movie?
Hutt's guy.
Salacious
Jar Jar?
Crumb.
Salacious Crumb, that's it. I would like one of those if I could have a fantasy one. 'Cause
That's
that
awesome.
guy just cracks me up. Yeah. I can't do the voice this time, but it was just like that whole laugh. I'm sure it would get annoying. I can't wait to get one from Galaxy's Edge because I'm so going to just get one and have it on me all the time.
They look so cool.
Yeah. As a fantasy character, that's probably one. As like a real one, I'm a dachshund person, so Wobbles kind of fits that need, but I think a corgi would probably it. I mean, I love dogs. I'm just attached
Yeah,
to dogs.
just like
clearly.
all the dogs.
Yeah, just dogs. Just give me a dog. I want a pile of
Those are
dogs. Like,
quirky.
I literally I follow this one rescue shelter called Mafia. They work with Jersey and Memphis, and I always send photos to Gort of another dog. It's like, look at this one. This one needs a home. This one needs a home too. Like, it's always just like that. He's like, no, you don't need another one. But I think that's my dream life, is if I could just have a house, dogs all the time. If I had the money to pay someone, they could help clean up and all that type of stuff. But I think I would just love my life with dogs, sleep with them all around. I don't know what it is. They just are a drug for me.
Yeah, I agree.
Cats are
My
that
cousin.
way.
What I would
Have you ever
What I
seen the
would love to
miniature
do-
ones? Like the baby dachshunds, like
Yes.
the little itty bitty ones.
Oh.
My mom has one. She found, once again, she rescued some lady couldn't take care of her small dachshund anymore. It's literally size of my hand. I'll have to put a photo up of it, but the size of my hand. That dog is like small. The head is just teeny.
Mhm.
It's just like it's a mini dachshund. Like
Mhm.
seriously, teacup dachshund or
Yeah.
something. Like you think they'd be smaller.
My cousin had one briefly that her and her boyfriend bought together, but he ended up taking him. They named it
Aw.
Oscar Meyer Wiener.
Aw.
It was so tiny. Well, she went on a trip with her dad for like 10 days, and he was sick because, well, they got him at a pet store, and most pet store dogs end up sick when they're puppies anyway.
Mhm.
So, which I think is a horrible thing. But like, so I had to give him medicine, and he was sick, so he'd curl up on my lap. He was only like this big, but he'd curl up on my lap and sleep. And when he'd sleep, like his little cheek would puff out. It'd be like,
Aw.
He thought he was a train.
his face was so small that the little puffy thing, like his little puffy cheek, was only about the size of a quarter. And it was just like, I just sit there with him on my lap, like, oh, I want to keep him.
Aw.
I'm a sucker for dogs, and corgi butts are the shit. I would have a corgi for sure. Maisie does like the old lady walk down the stairs, like she's like, "Da-dun, da-dun, da-dun." But that corgi butt would get me. I'd die laughing every time I watch a corgi go down. I'm sorry.
Especially when excited and
My-
it's wiggling. It's like jigga 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 jigga.
I love it. I love it.
First time I ever saw
My
one.
actual dream is to get a farm and to actually adopt and take care of senior dogs
That's cool.
that because people don't want them when they're older and when they're sick and whatnot. And I would love to just
so
have a
sad.
big farm full of old dogs that they just need love for their last few years.
Yeah, some shelters and rescue places are trying to work that out for a lot of the rescue old dogs if they can get them with either people who are older or veterans or people, things of that nature, because they're great for PTSD and things of that nature just because they have that
That's a
sense
great,
to them
great
and things of that nature.
idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're very chill. They're very cool.
Absolutely.
I've noticed that even
Yep.
if they're not trained, animals instinctively know
Mhm.
if you're having an issue. Like I have PTSD due to something that happened in my life when I was a kid,
Mhm.
and if I'm having a bad time, my cats know. They won't leave me.
They always know. They
Oh, yeah.
always do.
Yeah. Yep.
And you guys know I just lost my dad,
Right.
a couple weeks ago, and
Mhm.
the cats were just right there
That's cool.
comforting me.
That's really good.
Although it's not great when they're comforting me when they're trying to sit on my face.
Yeah.
Not so much.
No.
So this is where you wanted me, right? It was the
Yeah,
face.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Sorry, that's it. Okay.
Mama, you're not getting up and feeding me, so therefore I sit on face. Wake up.
Well, I
You
know
don't
that
need this to breathe, right?
Well, I know full well we could probably go on all night talking about our pets.
Mm.
But unfortunately, we have kind of run out of time. It is that
Aw.
10 o'clock. And
Darn it.
but I want to give some shout outs, okay? To Eddie, Dust Mites, Massey. I'm so
Massey.
sorry, Dust Mites. I'm sorry. For the wonderful beat that he gave us. Josh Fisher and Jason Lowry for all the web and tech help. All our followers for paying attention to us and listening and subscribing and commenting. We love you all. And for MPSP Theater, for all their help and support and love as well. We love you guys. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we will see you all next week.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Also, next week is cons and conventions. So shout out to us and give us ideas.
Hit
Come and
that
check
like
it out.
button. Hit that like button.
Like, subscribe, and hit that little bell notification so you get notified every time we're on.
Yeah.
That's